Hello, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started now. Thank you very much for joining today's webinar. Today, we'll be focusing on keeping your SharePoint data secure through Webtrends Analytics OnPremises. My name is Mike Salvi, and we're joined by our VP of Client Services, David Sinner. David will be driving today's webinar and take you through all of the content. For those of you that are not familiar with Webtrends, just a little history. We've been in business since 1993 when we founded the web analytics industry. Today, we focus all of our analytics expertise on SharePoint in the Office 365 suite. We're headquartered in Portland, Oregon, and have over 400 clients worldwide. So with that being said, I'll hand it over to David, and he'll take you through today's webinar.
All right, thanks, Mike. So our goal today is to provide you with a better understanding of the Webtrends Analytics on-premise solution to report on your secure SharePoint environment. So we'll discuss what analytics on-premise is in terms of features, options for implementation, and how it differs from a cloud-based solution. Then we'll focus on the key metrics you should be using to gain a deeper level of understanding and insight of your SharePoint intranet. So we'll show examples of how to better understand adoption and usage, specific content that's being viewed, the level of engagement, and which parts of the organization are the most and least active on your site. So Analytics On-Prem is a software solution installed using your hardware. It provides a highly secure solution by keeping the data collection and reporting within your network. There's a JavaScript collection tag that was designed specifically to capture SharePoint activity, so it's aware of SharePoint menus, article pages, documents, etc. We work closely with Microsoft to stay abreast of changes to current and upcoming releases. The solution can be implemented as a feature scoped at the farm, web application, site collection level. You can also manually tag your master pages. We provide support for versions from SharePoint 2010 all the way up through 2019. You can also install in SharePoint Online classic and modern view environments. And if you decide later on to move from your on-premise solution, you can migrate to our cloud version down the road. So a basic installation of Webtrends, you can install it on a single computer and the Smart Source data collector on another data computer. And this environment is sufficient for most clients. You can also distribute the work across multiple computers by installing Webtrends components on several machines that work together as one. So you might use a distributed installation to handle many complex analysis processes, or if there's a large number of concurrent users that are viewing reports, or to analyze more website traffic than a non-distributed installation can process in a single day. So how does the on-prem version different from a cloud solution? So the key benefit of on-premise is that you have control over where your data is stored. So Webtrends on-prem is ideal for financial institutions, healthcare providers, government agencies, or really any field mandated by law to secure and maintain your information at their own facility. One of the benefits of the on-demand or cloud solution is quicker access to feature enhancements and no technical knowledge needed to maintain the in-house servers. Both solutions, though, are customizable. Your data is not sampled. You have complete ownership of your data, and the products are GDPR compliant. All right, so now we'll look at some of the key metrics to measure in your SharePoint environment. So today we'll focus on the 4 areas shown here: overall adoption and usage, what content is being consumed, the level of engagement, and what parts of the organization are using the site. So the first area is overall adoption and usage. So this is to gain a better idea of the overall traffic trends to each of the sites. You can view this individually or as a whole. It helps you understand, is your intranet gaining or losing usage over time? Are we getting repeat visitors? Also, viewing information on multiple sites at once is difficult to do using the native SharePoint reports. It's hard to combine multiple sites together, but with Webtrends, I can see that this is easy to do. All right, so now we'll take a look at some of the reports. So in Webtrends, you have the ability to report on all of your sites at once using, in this case, we have like an all profile, or you can split out into look at an individual site or subset of sites. So if we wanted just information for the marketing team or our HR team, we can also control access to the site this way. So you can set up a user role that maybe an administrator can see all of the data, but somebody from marketing, when they logged in, they would just see the one profile set. So the overview dashboard provides you a quick overview of your traffic. In this case, I'm looking at the month of February, and I can see the top pages for the month, as well as my total number of visitors and visits. And then it'll provide me information on the visit duration. So how long are they spending on the site? What are the top exit points? So in this case, our search results page is our top exit point, and then also our top pages. So it's always good to understand the top places that people are visiting and make sure the content on those pages is always up to date. You can also compare your date ranges. So this will provide you a view of the previous month, so we can see how data has changed from one time period to another. Are we, our visits improving, going up or down compared to the prior range? You can also select any date range you like, from a single day to a week, or even a custom range. And then we can see, how our traffic is trending over time. So are we seeing a increase in traffic, decrease in traffic? So always good to understand how your traffic has changed over time. All right, the next area, so the site dashboard gives you an understanding of the total traffic volume to your intranet. And the next step is to drill down and look at what specific content is being consumed. So what are the top visited sites and the pages within those sites? Which departments or locations are the most or least active? Are mandatory policy documents being read? Do visitors click on the slider web part on the home page? So let's look at some specific report examples that'll help us answer these questions. So the site name pages report will show you the top sites in your environment. So we can quickly see which are our most active sites and which are least active. And we can understand within any of these sites the top pages that are being viewed within that particular site. We can also see the amount of time that they're spending on the site. You can also combine any of the reports with any other dimension. So we collect user attributes, things like office, department, title, and those can be used to see how well traffic is being viewed at different levels. So in this case, we have an office. We want to understand which offices are viewing a particular site. The pages, you can also drill all the way to usernames. So here we're looking at our pages, and if we wanted to see which users are viewing a page, you have that level of granularity. You can also obfuscate usernames. So if you don't want to report it, but you want to see how many individual users are, this entry here, you can obfuscate the name to make it more secure. So this report is always good to look at what your top visited pages are. Make sure the content on those is up to date, as well as looking for pages that are receiving very low traffic that maybe need to be updated, or perhaps they just need better navigation to them, additional link off the homepage to drive more traffic to them. You can also find activity for a specific page. So if you wanted to see the life of a page, here I can see for the Spanish news page, I can see how traffic has changed over time. This is good for articles or news pages. You can start to see when traffic has gone and the life of that page has ended, and time to swap out the content. So now we can drill down further and start looking at document interactions. So this report will show the top documents that are being viewed on the site. And we'll look at not just whether the document's being opened, but some of the other SharePoint actions you can take. So is the document being shared or followed, or are people emailing it out? So in this case, we have a security policy that the HR group has put out, and we want to see which departments are viewing this mandatory document. So we can see that we've got 2 departments that have viewed it. So we could follow up with the other departments, telling them to that a reminder that they need to view this new security policy. Then the other area is web part. So this will show you your top web parts that are being viewed. And in this case, what links are being clicked within that web part. So we've put a slider on our homepage, and it has a number of news articles, and we want to see which ones are being viewed. So here we can see the finance and HR ones are getting a lot of views. So we can see which ones are getting poor click-through rates. Do we need to rearrange the web part on the homepage so it gets more traffic? Maybe we just need to alter the titles to better represent what the content is. All right, the next area is engagement. So these reports measure the activity beyond just viewing pages and documents, but help us dig deeper and answer questions like, do users prefer using the menu navigation or links within the page? Are users showing deeper engagement by liking or posting comments and articles? What are users searching on? Are they getting results and clicking on anything? If they perform multiple searches, which terms are used together? So let's take a look at some of the engagement reports. So link tracking allows you to view any page on your site, and then you can see what links are being clicked on that page. So this is useful to help you better understand site usage and navigation. So we can compare the link activity with the placement of the link on the page. So are links in certain area of the page receiving more clicks consistently? Do people prefer the navigation? Are they clicking the quick links? And then links that are receiving very low traffic, maybe those are time to be swapped out or repositioned. Articles. So if you have in SharePoint Online, there's an article template. So you can create a report. A report is available to show the article, the top articles being viewed. And not just the views, but are people engaging with the article? So are they liking it, posting, saving? And in this case, we can also see, which departments are viewing a particular article. So if there's, departments that we're not seeing, viewing any of the articles, we can reach out to them to see what type of content might be useful to them. And then a final report for engagement is tracking metadata. So in SharePoint, you can add different metadata to documents to help classify. So in this case, we've created a security level for each document. And this will let us know, by these groups, which documents are being viewed. And also, what other actions? So we have a policy in place that we don't allow emailing of restricted documents. So we can see if that's being adhered to, and then which documents are being emailed out. So in this case, we can see the strategic plan is being emailed quite a bit. All right, the next level of engagement is search. So it's very important to understand how users are using search. So is the site set up for people to come and view, just navigate, browse through content, or is it a heavy search site? So in this case, we can see our top search terms that are being used, so we can always see if there's anything trending. So work from home, in recent times has become a heavy topic. And we can see the total number of searches, as well as whether the search was successful or unsuccessful. So we'll look to see, did the search return results? If it returned no results, then it was an unsuccessful search. And did they click on any of the results? So here we can look for, we can see that people are searching on policy quite a bit. And here we see people are doing a lot of searches for offices, but they are not clicking on any results. So whatever's being returned in that result list is not compelling. So that would be something to follow up on. And likewise, cubicle here, we are getting a lot of searches for, but we're not getting any results. So we would need to see if we need to add content so that they return data. And then you can reach out to the particular department that's doing the search and ask them what in particular they're looking for in related to this search. Then you can see the actual item that they clicked on. So in this case, when somebody searches for policy, we can see that most of the time they're looking for the security policy. So we could add a suggested item or a link off the home page to make it easier to find the security policy. And then oftentimes when people are doing a search, they don't just do one search and leave. They may do multiple searches in a session. So this report is designed to help understand if they're performing multiple searches. So in this case, they started searching for sales, but they also searched for the security policy, forecast, and sales. So in this example, the sales team put out a new security policy, but people weren't sure how to find it. They weren't sure if it was under sales or security policy. So here we could help see that relationship. And so when they search for sales, actually present security policy in the results. And then the final search report is just to understand how often do people search. Do most people come and browse and look for data, or do they do search? So in this case, we can see that about 96% of our visits do not have a search in them. And so and we can see that our visit duration is higher for those visits that don't do search. So people are coming and browsing. Maybe they're not aware of the search or they're not using it. Might be a chance to promote search. Or maybe the site's just set up that it's more of a consume content and use the menu navigation. And here we can see that those that do use a search, their visit durations are much lower. Maybe they're coming in just looking for a specific thing, finding it, and leaving. All right, so up to this point, we've mainly focused on what is being viewed. The next step is to dig deeper into who was looking at the site. So what parts of the organization are accessing the internet and which are slow to adopt? Do we need to update content to appeal to the specific regions or locations? And who are the main users within a department, and how can we recruit them to help spread the word of the value of the intranet? So we've seen some of the reports that have user attributes in them. We were looking at pages by department. We can also drill down just by user activity. So this will show by department, title, and name, so we can see which departments are most active on our site, all the way down to the roles, the type of roles that people are looking at, and down to individuals if we want. So this is a good report to find your user champions. So if we've got a group here like plant operations that is slow to adopt, we can see that the one user is this Loretta Salino. So we could reach out to her and see what content, how she's using it, maybe recruit her to get other people in plant operations to start using the site. You can also see activity, not just by their total volume of traffic to the site, but are they engaging with your site? So if we sort this by the number of social interactions, we can see that the engineering team is, even though they don't have a lot of visits, they're heavily involved in the social interaction. So things like, they're posting comments, they're liking things, they're engaging with the material much more than other groups that might just be viewing pages. And you can do this for interactions with lists, or are they heavily looking at documents? So another way to get a deeper insight into what's going on. Then you can also see breakdown by geography. So to understand if you've got a diverse workforce, you can see where geographically they're located all the way down to the city. So if you've got areas that are low adoption. So Asia, we're not getting a lot of traffic, so maybe we don't have localized content for them, and we need to, update the site so that the pages are more what they're looking for. All right, then the final set of reports are environment reports, and these will help you understand the overall usage of your intranet. So which days of the week are we getting the most traffic? So if we want to put up new information on the homepage, in this case, Thursdays is our high traffic day, so we're going to get the most visits. And likewise, if we're going to perform any maintenance activity, we want to have the least impact. It looks like Saturday or Sunday would be our best day. Then you can also understand the types of platforms that you need to support. So are we mainly desktop users? Do we need to support a mobile workforce? This can be useful in designing the site. Which browsers are being used? So if we have a policy that we're trying to standardize on a certain browser, if we're moving to Google Chrome or to Edge, we can see which users are still maybe using Microsoft Internet Explorer, and then reach out to them and letting them know that they need to make the switch. Then you can also see the breakdown by individual browser version as well. All right, then the final set of reports is the campaign report. So it's oftentimes we want to get the word out of the intranet, or if there's a new section available or new content, and a newsletter can be an effective way to reach out and let people know there's something new. So you can create a newsletter and add a tag to it that will allow us to then see how well people are responding to that newsletter and the specific content that they're viewing. So in this case, we sent out a quarterly newsletter, and we can see which pages they viewed for any of the particular newsletters. We can also tie it to maybe there's specific articles that we want people to view, and we can see how well that newsletter did in generating traffic to that newsletter. So this is just some of the reporting that is available. You can extend this solution and add your own reports. So you have kind of an infinite number of different possibilities that are available to provide that deeper level of insight into your intranet. All right, so that concludes our presentation today on the Analytics On-Prem to keep your SharePoint data secure.
All right, thanks, David. If anyone would like more information about Webtrends or would like to schedule a personalized demo, you can reach us at any of the options here on the screen. Thanks again for everyone that joined, and have a great rest of your day.